In this section, we're going to talk about a very important tool which is used and recognized by educational experts around the world to help students in identifying their strengths and skills. Yes, we are going to talk about the psychometric test in this section. Now, what is psychometric testing? Psychometric testing is a process which measures a student's strengths and weaknesses. It is also used to judge employment suitability in adults, including company candidate fit. The aim of psychometric test is to gain an accurate bearing of the student's cognitive abilities and personality or behavioral style. This allows students to predict, based on objective data, which career is most suitable for them. Psychometric compromises of both cognitive and personality tests so that the most suitable career for a student can be ascertained. In simple words, the test has three types of questions. They are tests of memory or specific aptitudes, such as the student's ability to work with words or numbers, skills such as manual dexterity and eye for detail, others which describe the student's personality, interests, values, or motivation. Every psychometric test tries to test three things of a student: personality, aptitude, and attitude. Although the ways may vary, every psychometric test always tests the said three things. Psychometric tests help students in evaluating their strengths and weaknesses. It evaluates the ability, analytical skill of students, which identifies what kind of person he or she is and how they will perform under certain circumstances. There are many streams present in today's scenario of the competitive world. Psychometric tests helps in clearing the confusion in the mind of students. Although anyone can take it, students who are soon to finish their high school education should take the test, as it will help them greatly in identifying the areas which are best suited for their interest and aptitude. Generally, a student who is confused in choosing a career is suggested to take a psychometric test so as to determine the right career for them. However, a student who has decided on his or her career can also take the test to confirm the choice. The test also helps students to evaluate various alternatives available in the career they choose. Now, let's answer the question as to why should it be taken. When you talk about career guidance, how will you tell a student which is the most suitable higher education option for them and what job is he or she suited for? You have to know what is his or her aptitude, what are his interests, what is his personality, whether that particular personality will suit a particular job. This is where the psychometric test comes in. The test is designed by psychology and educational experts in such a way that it will give a clear insight into the personality and aptitude of a student. Thus, whatever suggestions the counselor makes, it will be based on statistics and a tested way rather than mere assumptions. With so many new options opening up for higher education, psychometric tests are trustworthy tools to determine which course will be best for the student depending on his or her aptitude, personality, and interest. Moving on to the next question, what does the test measure? There are different types of psychometric tests, but generally they'll be used to measure how people differ in their motivation, values, priorities, and opinions with regard to different tasks and situations. In terms of personality, the tests can give an indication of the working style favored by a student and how they interact with their environment. The tests are helpful at analyzing the more hidden traits of an individual. Formal education and past experience will not always provide a clear, up-to-date assessment of these personal skills. Aptitude tests, for example, could help to provide a better, more realistic and current view of a student's abilities than a formal certificate of education. Psychometric testing is a very broad brush approach to understanding the specific traits and skills of a very complex human being. At its best, psychometric tests can give you a relatively accurate and insightful picture of a student's suitability for a career. If they are looking for a career in marketing, for example, then they should be an extrovert with high verbal reasoning skills and high achievement motivation, which is a better bet than an introvert who specializes in abstract thinking. Well-validated tests generally return reliable results and can help the student decide on the right career choice for them. Wrong career choices are costly, and tests are good insurance against them. They can weed out the wrong choices and reveal the right choices for you. They can also help you assess how good a fit someone is to a team or a role based on personality and ability. Basically, the tests are good in predicting whether or not a career is suitable for a particular student. It should also be known that the psychometric tests are not always accurate. However, they are great discussion starters. A thumb rule which should be remembered is that they have an accuracy of around 70%. Rather, counselors should make sure that the students have relevant expectations from the test when taking it. Now let's discuss the different methodologies used in psychometric testing, their pros and cons. The test does not measure how intelligent a student is, but rather provides an honest feedback so that one can choose a career based on their aptitude, value, interest and personality. Questions included in psychometric assessments generally fall into two categories: aptitude or ability tests and personality and occupational questionnaires. 1. Aptitude or ability tests. These aim to measure a student's competence, assess the student's abilities to use specific career-related skills, and to predict subsequent career performance. The most commonly used test assesses verbal and numerical logical reasoning skills. Verbal reasoning. Although these tests may appear in different formats, verbal reasoning typically involves reading a passage of text and then selecting the most appropriate of perhaps 4 or 5 answers. Alternatively, you may be asked to fill in blank spaces in a sentence with a given choice of words. Numerical reasoning. Again, although these tests may appear in different formats, you may typically be asked questions relating to information provided in the form of statistical charts, or you may be required to calculate the answers to various problems. Other tests. There are a number of other tests which may be used in graduate recruitment which are specific to the company or the job on offer. 2. Personality and occupational questionnaires. These explore the way in which one does things, how does the candidate behave in certain circumstances, the candidate's preferences and attitudes. For all types of personality questionnaires, there are no right and wrong answers. If we ask which method of psychometric test suits which type of students, stream selector. If a student is confused in selecting his stream, he can opt for stream selector test so as to achieve clarity regarding the right stream for him based on the aptitude. This is generally recommended for students of class 8, 9th and 10th. Psychometric test. Similarly, psychometric test helps to choose the right career for the student. It is generally recommended for students of class 11th and 12th. Now, what are different modes of psychometric test? Personality questionnaires and ability tests are either paper and pencil based or may be taken on computer. Paper and pencil-based tests often come as a booklet with a separate answer sheet. The answer sheet usually has printed boxes and you indicate your answers to each question or statement by marking the relevant box. You are instructed what to do by a person administering the test. Computerized tests come in different formats. You are given instructions either by an administrator or on the computer screen itself. In some cases, tests are completely computer administered and you familiarize yourself with the instructions at your own pace and choose when to start the timed test. You usually indicate your answers by clicking on the answer option using the mouse. Benefits. Psychometric tests are an additional opportunity to demonstrate the student's skills. In a career, it is impossible to give the full picture of skills and personality. A person's qualifications may say very little about them if their strengths lie in areas which are not covered by conventional qualifications. Certain skills are in fact better measured using carefully constructed psychometric tests. Example, problem solving, spatial ability, etc. Psychometric tests provide a fairer assessment of skills. Psychometric tests provide an objective way of assessing strengths and weaknesses. The tests are standardized, meaning they have been tested on people of a similar age and background, and performance is interpreted relatively to that standard. Psychometric tests are also objective in terms of scoring. Most tests use multiple choice questions which set right and wrong answers. So there is no room for bias in marking. Psychometric tests can help you understand more about your abilities. Finding a best career is a two-way process. However, a psychometric test may suggest the one that is suitable for a certain career. The answer is in the question. Most ability tests ask multiple choice questions where students have to choose one correct answer from several answer options. The answer options include distractions, incorrect responses such as errors which are easily made, or responses which resemble the correct answer in some way. As always, here are the key takeaways for this section. Psychometric testing is a process which measures a student's strengths and weaknesses. It is also used to judge employment suitability in adults, including company candidate fit. The aim of psychometric tests is to gain an accurate bearing of the student's cognitive abilities and personality or behavioral style. This allows students to predict, based on objective data, which career is most suitable for them. The test has three types of questions: tests of memory or specific aptitudes, skills such as manual dexterity and eye for detail, and others which describe the student's personality, interest, values, or motivation. The tests are helpful at analyzing the more hidden traits of an individual. Formal education, past experience will not always provide a clear, up-to-date assessment of these personal skills. Questions included in psychometric assessments generally fall into two categories: aptitude or ability tests and personality or occupational questionnaires. With this, we come to the end of this section.